All right, breaking news now. Former FTX CEO Sam Bankman-Fried pleading not guilty to fraud charges.
In addition to him pleading not guilty, as we had expected, to 8 criminal counts here, there was a lot else that happened. A trial date has been set for October 2nd.
What is going to happen, and then what is going to happen next to him?
Welcome back to my channel. The latest headline is that Sam Bankman-Fried has denied all charges against him and will start facing a trial on October 2nd. In today's video, Michael Saylor has exposed the SBF and FTX fraud. Saylor's comments come as Sam Bankman-Fried pleads not guilty to 8 counts of charges, including fraud and money laundering. Stay tuned until the end to know more details. And if you haven't joined our community, don't forget to subscribe to my channel for more updates of FTX and the crypto industry situation. Let's dive into the video.
Sam basically gets high, steals the family car, goes on a joyride 180 miles an hour. Maybe the police didn't stop him, but he wrapped the Ferrari around the tree. See, like that's what happened with FTX, which is they took the car off a cliff. Why? Because they were high and they were going too fast. And so, you know, ultimately, nature heals itself. You would like for there to be law and order. And if there was law and order, it never would have got this bad. But even if there isn't law and order, I mean, eventually, play stupid games, win silly prizes. It's not the finest moment for the crypto industry. And, you know, you would say you probably shouldn't have trusted any of these people, but there are a lot of decent people that did trust them, right? You got a lot of crypto influencers, a lot of Bitcoin influencers, and they were sponsored by Blockfolio and FTX and Celsius and some of the other players in the space. We've been lacking a bit of law and order in the past 2 years. And the absence of law and order, what you have is you have criminals that are corrupting and bribing the media, the academics, and the politicians. And so that's a setback. And then you also have criminals stealing people's money, like economically murdering people.
FTX founder Sam Bankman-Fried has pleaded not guilty in Manhattan federal court to charges that he cheated investors and looted customer deposits on his cryptocurrency trading platform. SBF is out on bail on the condition that he doesn't have access to crypto or assets of FTX or Alameda Research or any assets purchased with funds from the companies. Now, while Bankman-Fried is willing to do the whole 9 yards in the court, Caroline Ellison, the former CEO of Alameda Research, and Gary Wang, another FTX co-founder, have already pleaded guilty. The guilty pleas were related to their roles as insiders at FTX and its sister company, Alameda Research. Michael Saylor has also highlighted that the crypto industry is not an ideal situation right now due to the prevalence of fraud and manipulation. In his words, they have economically murdered people and they need to be behind bars. Let's get into the next clip to see what more Saylor has to say on this matter. But before jumping ahead, be sure to like and share the video.
It's a brutally expensive market lesson, but it just reminds you of the corrupting influence of the industry. There are so many people that are counterfeiting money, or they're just stealing the money. And the advantage is to the counterfeiters, right? I think FTX invested $5.6 billion in FTX Ventures. They must have spent another $2 billion in marketing or more in the 2 years. So they poured about $7.5 billion into the economy, and they did it by, in essence, counterfeiting $10 billion or more worth of tokens like FTT and SRM, and they boosted Solana, and you know, they boosted Maps, and then they went and they borrowed real money. You know, they borrowed as much as they could, posting that collateral from counterparties that, you know, like they borrowed from BlockFi and, you know, borrowed from Voyager and probably borrowed from Three Arrows, or they borrowed from anybody that would have made a loan to them. And then they borrowed from their own depositors at FTX. And of course, they then raised billions of dollars from outside investors. And they took all that money and they in essence corrupted everybody they could, right? So you give $45 million to Block, right? $45 million to a handful of journalists. What could go wrong, you know? $15 million to one influencer who will remain nameless that everybody knows. And, and then you give it to every politician on both sides of the aisle. And then you give it to all of the academics. I think it'll be probably 3 to 5 years before we know the extent of that corrupt money.
Michael Saylor alleges that FTX and Alameda have been engaging in market manipulation and other illicit activities, and there's been a lot of pain caused by them in the crypto market. But it can also help in bringing regulations and teaching investors. Talking about the FTX fraud case, Danielle Sassoon, a federal prosecutor, said at the hearing that, quote, customer funds were also used and laundered through political donations, charitable donations, and a variety of venture investments. She has also suggested that the government has a deep well of evidence against Bankman-Fried. And not just this. Caroline Ellison and Gary Wang, 2 executives in the bankrupt crypto exchange FTX, pleaded guilty and have promised to give their full cooperation for the FTX fraud case. Government is also taking action against these exchanges and has promised to provide more evidence of their fraudulent activities in the near future. You see, this is a developing story, so stay tuned with us for more updates. You can also hit that bell icon to never miss any video in the future. Let's get into the next clip.
The counterfeiters have an advantage in the war over the sound money people, right? Nobody's taking $7.5 billion of Bitcoin and using it to taint politicians and taint the media because it's 7.5 real dollars, right? It's hard to come by that money. But if you just gin up $7.5 billion worth of, FTT token, right? That's made up money. I mean, Sam pretty much created that money in 12 months, maybe 18 months max. In order to create another $1 billion, he just needed to manipulate the price up $3 a token. How hard is that? Not hard at all. He basically took the money from his own customers off the exchange, traded it with himself, manipulated the price up $3, declared $1 billion worth of earnings, and then went and spent it. And how he spent it, he bought everybody. So I think that's the negative. I guess the positive is we got lucky that FTX blew up because they were very close to bribing, or corrupting the entire establishment. Right. We'll see just how far they got. But I mean, some of the bills in Congress, they were driving to get light regulation in DC and then funnel crypto exchange fees into the regulators in order to addict them to more counterfeit crypto money. So I think it's been a brutally painful year, one of the more difficult years, but it's a necessary rite of passage.
The FTX collapse has surely hit the market very badly and caused big pains. Now, it remains to be seen what the crypto industry will go through in the coming months, but it's clear that it is facing some big challenges in the matter of prices and adoption. So, what will happen next in the SBF case? How will the court rule ahead? What more secrets can come to the surface in the upcoming months? And, most importantly, what implications will it have in the crypto industry? Stay tuned with us to always stay updated. For more updates on the FTX case and situation of the crypto space, be sure to subscribe to my channel. Also, don't forget to give a big thumbs up to this video. I'll see you guys in my next video. Adios, and thanks for watching.